Hello folks and welcome to today's vlog. You join us quite late in the day. It's a late start. Andy is already home from school, although he's just run off upstairs. I'm choosing to believe he didn't run off when he saw me get the camera out. However, when I walked in holding the camera, he was sat there watching the Emmet clock video that he recorded the other week, and as I set the tripod up, he just packed his stuff up and went upstairs. I'm hoping that's a coincidence. Oh, there you go, and I say he's already been up there, so he's milling about between the two rooms anyway. I'm just having a look to see how he got on at school today. Obviously, after the events of yesterday, if you're not sure what the events of yesterday were, you need to go back and watch yesterday's video. Yesterday's video was a biggie. It was a significant thing. It was his first proper meltdown in nearly a year, probably. So that's we were a little bit worried there might be some fallout on that today, but it seems like everything's gone fine. He's had no issues at school. He's eaten all his normal food. He's got to play some golf. He's been biting and picking at his toenail, making it bleed, which is, I mean, biting his toenails isn't new. Anna has never had to cut his nails, not since he was a tiny little baby, because he always just bites his toenails, bites his fingernails and keeps them short himself, which I know isn't the best habit for him to have, but on the flip side of that, you've all seen how it is when we have to cut his hair, so the prospect of having to clip his nails, the fact that he keeps them short himself by biting at them, is kind of a blessing, because if he didn't do that, they'd just get super long and he'd be breaking them all the time. The other thing off here, which is awesome news, is he's put on 2 pounds in the last week. He's now up to 79 pounds, up from 77 pounds last week. So his weight increase continues apace. I mean, I had to come home from my dad's yesterday to collect more crisps and more pop for him because he tore through the stuff that we took with him initially. So he's really picking up the pace with the eating. So at least his weight is good. What we really need is for him to put on another 20 pounds between now and November, so that when he gets ill and drops a stone, he's still at a similar weight to what he is now. So we won't be annoyed or worried or concerned if he gets a little bit fat over the next few months, because we know what's coming in December. Another interesting piece of school news, it's like an entire school update, which I guess let's get loads of school stuff in now, because he's only got 4 days left this year and then he'll have done a full academic year at school. But we had a phone call from school this morning asking us to come in tomorrow for his end of year awards assembly thing, and they used the phrase, it will be in our interests to attend that. So I feel like he's getting some kind of award tomorrow. Unfortunately, the timing of it clashes with Amy's orthodontist appointment. We took Lucy to the orthodontist last week. This week it's Amy at the orthodontist. So tomorrow morning is going to be a massive session of rushing around and driving places, as we take Amy and Anna all the way to where Andy's school is, drop her off half an hour before this assembly starts, spin the car around, head 20 miles in completely the opposite direction to get Amy to the orthodontist, spin around again when we're done there, get Amy back at school, and then do that final 10-mile stretch to get back to Andy's school, partly in the hopes that I get there before he gets his award, but if nothing else, I've got to be there to bring Anna home. So I'm going to send her complete with a camera tomorrow, so if there is any opportunity to take pictures or film any of it, obviously we can't film any of the parts that any of the other kids are in, but if there's any opportunity to do a little bit of filming, I'll get Anna to do that, because quite apart from anything else, I want to see it, but I'm sure you lot would like to see it too. While we're waiting for him to come down though, I do have a couple of packages to open. This one, they both came yesterday I think. Or one of them might have come today. So this one is a pop vinyl. It's from Ben Bell. Hi Kev, enjoy your gift. Hope it's one you wanted. Ben, if it's a pop vinyl, it's definitely one that I wanted. Oh, it's a DC Bombshells one. That is one that I wanted. Katana. I am so close to finishing off the DC Bombshells set now. I think the only one I need is Joker, although the entire DC Bombshell set, I haven't actually got them set up on my shelf yet, so it could be that I've got Joker somewhere as well. But thank you very much, Ben, that's very, very cool. And then another package that feels t-shirt shaped. Haha, awesome. Who has sent this? It's a Young Bucks t-shirt. That's really cool. If you're not a wrestling fan, that'll mean nothing to you, but it's a Young Bucks t-shirt. Thank you to whoever sent that. I might take off my Balor Club one now and put my Young Bucks one on. I'll save that for tomorrow. turn up for Andy's awards assembly and have a super kick party while I'm there. Thank you, whoever sent that shirt. Hello.
Okay.
You had a good day?
Yeah.
We haven't winked. Let's wink.
What
are you watching?
Then sunset. The sun's coming.
Okay, what game is this we're watching?
Yes.
The DS? What's the game called?
The dogs game.
The dogs. Oh, Nintendogs.
The PS.
I remember that. That used to be awesome. What on earth has put Nintendogs into your head?
Do you want the game?
Has he got it? Andy, do you want Nintendogs for your DS?
No.
Do you want dogs for your DS?
You get it.
Because it's your birthday in like a week.
Yeah.
So do you want the dogs game?
After birthday.
I think we can probably work that out for you. Did you have a good day at school?
Yeah.
Did you play some golf?
Yeah.
And have you got an assembly tomorrow?
Yeah.
Very exciting. He's clearly enjoying Nintendogs. I wish I knew how stuff like this came out through his memory bank. Did he ever have this game? There we go. Anna's just said he used to play this with Anna's mum all the time. So I think this probably confirms the working theory that we've got, that he is going back through all of the stuff that he enjoyed doing with her. So have you just seen how much it is? How much is it?
29.
29 for a Nintendo game. Nintendo games don't lose their value. That's a silly thing. I mean, I used to have it. I don't know. It might even still be in the house somewhere. I don't know. I have no idea. But there used to be loads of different versions of it, didn't there? So you had to choose your dog. But yeah, it was a great game. So we'll see if we can get that for your birthday.
Yeah.
Yeah? What else do you want for your birthday?
Tram.
You want a tram?
We'll go tram.
Oh, you want to go to the tram? Yeah, we'll go to the trams. We'll go to the trams next week sometime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What else do you want for your birthday?
What other present do you want?
That.
You want Nintendogs? This is, if you remember from back at Christmas, this is how he gets with birthdays and things.
Now.
This is how he gets with birthdays and stuff. He fixates on one present and that's the only thing that he wants. So I guess that thing is Nintendogs. I hope he still wants a TV. We're planning on getting his TV and all his games consoles and stuff up into his bedroom because he clearly wants to spend a bit more time up there. So why not move all that up there, free up this corner a little bit and give him a little bit of an extra area to chill out in. We realise there's probably lots of ways that could go wrong. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. We've got the whole summer holidays to worry about that. Shall I leave you alone now?
Yeah.
Leave him alone now. Don't panic, I don't plan on making a habit of finishing the vlog at 11:15 at night in terrible light after I've been up streaming for 3 hours. I'm losing my voice, but I have deliberately made the decision to do that today. Unlike yesterday, when I just forgot to end the vlog, but today I knew there would be a lot of comments on the video that we put out today, so the one that you saw yesterday. Again, if you haven't seen yesterday's vlog, you really should go back and watch yesterday's vlog. It was a significant one, but I knew there would be a lot of comments and I just wanted to be able to take the opportunity rather than having to go through, or I mean, let's give you an idea of just how many comments there have been. It's currently 11 minutes past 11, so the video's been out, what, about 6 and a bit hours at this point, and has already had 124 comments, and that's not 124 people just saying things like first. That's 124 genuine comments that do deserve a reply, and I will go through and read them all over the course of the next day or so. I haven't had a chance to this evening because I've spent most of the time since it's been out streaming, and I am shattered. I would normally stay up and do it now, but I had to end my stream 10 minutes early because I was yawning so much. So I will go through them and read them all, but I just thought rather than replying to everybody individually in the comments, it was easier to do it this way. So the big comment that people have asked, the big question is, why isn't Andy allowed to be naked up in his bedroom? Which, without context, is a completely reasonable question. He's a 14-year-old kid. He does enjoy being naked. His preference would be to be naked all the time. It's a sensory thing, and it is something we always used to allow him to do. But long-time watchers of the vlog will know that we do have a good reason why we don't let him do it, because we used to have, I can't even remember how long ago it was, probably as recently as 6 months ago maybe, we had major issues with Andy around smearing, which, if you don't know what smearing is, I hope you're not eating your tea at the moment, but so smearing is basically where he would poo into his hand and then rub it into the walls, rub it into the floors, rub it along the banister, rub it on the walls, the carpets. Basically it would go everywhere but the toilet. He used to smear a lot, and he also took to just weeing on his bedroom floor. So he would just stand there and do a wee on his bedroom floor. He wouldn't do it on his bed, he'd get out of bed and just wee onto the floor. We eventually identified the reason that he was doing it was just general sort of laziness and absent-mindedness. We always used to let him have complete freedom to use his bedroom as much as he wanted to do. He could take his devices up there, he could get naked up there, and he used to quite happily spend sometimes hours at a time just lying on his bed naked watching videos on his iPad. The problem is, because he was already naked, because everything was accessible, he would just kind of absent-mindedly stick his hand up his bum. If something was in there, he'd pull it out, put it wherever he felt like it, and because he's already naked, he needs a wee, he'd leave it to absolutely the last moment. I don't need to go all the way to the toilet, I'll just wee on this bit of floor here. And so we put a rule in place 6-9 months ago, I forget exactly when it was. We almost certainly did a video about it at the time, which future Kev might try and dig out for you. But we put a rule in place where for a long time he wasn't allowed to take any devices upstairs at all. We just, right, we're fed up with the smearing, we're fed up with the weeing on the floor. If you want to use your iPad, if you want to use your DS, you're only allowed to use them downstairs. And straight away, that just put a stop to the going to his room. And without him going to his room, he then immediately stopped smearing because he wasn't lying on his bed doing it. And that carried on for probably a good couple of months and he would always ask if he was allowed to, and he would always say no, and he would just accept it. And we eventually decided, okay, you are allowed to go up there. I think it was while Anna was revising for her exams. And we said, right, okay, you're being a pain in the bum down here. You're making a lot of noise. You clearly want to go upstairs. You are allowed to go up there on the condition that you keep your clothes on. Our theory being that if his clothes are on, it acts as more of a reminder that, well, if he's got to take off his trousers to go to the toilet, he should probably go to the toilet. If his trousers are covering his bum, he can't get his hand up there. So the rules were wee and poo go in the toilet, and he must keep his trousers, he must keep all his clothes on while he's up there. And we would go up and check. We initially checked every couple of minutes, and gradually over the course of a few weeks we would check less and less frequently until we got to the point, probably within the last month or so, where we didn't really feel the need to check at all. If we were up there, we'd stick our head round the door, but he was brilliant at following it. He would always have his clothes on. The smearing's never come back, the weeing on the floor has never come back, and he has been doing brilliantly with it. But yesterday, for whatever reason, and it could be related to grief issues around Anna's mum, it could be to do with the fact he's got a little bit of a rash on one of his nipples. It could have just been a sensory thing, must get my shirt off, and as part of that decided to take his trousers off as well, just because if you take my shirt off, I take my trousers off, and he perhaps just forgot he wasn't allowed to. It could have been that he wasn't happy with the clothes that he was wearing and wanted to get changed and just sort of got halfway through and didn't tell us, but afterwards the only clothes he would put back on were his pyjamas. It's probably a little bit of all of the above. I guess we'll never know exactly what caused it. But the important thing is, because we were firm with him and strict about the rule, and we do feel like absolute monsters when we're doing it, but it's important that, especially with a child with autism, it's so important that you decide where the line is and then you don't let them cross it, because otherwise it causes more harm than good. So because we were so firm with it yesterday, he's been allowed back in his room again today. He, as he's leaving the room, is saying to us, we're not even having to say to him, he's picking up his iPad, walking towards the door, saying, wee wee and poo poo goes in the toilet, keep clothes on, and then he goes upstairs, and we've gone back to checking him a little bit more frequently again, and there's been no issues today. He's just kept his clothes on, he's been absolutely fine. But that's the main reason why he's not allowed to get naked in his room. The secondary reason is his window faces out into the street, and he doesn't like to have his curtains shut, and he likes to stand up on his bed. So the secondary reason is anyone who going past our house or in the houses opposite looking out their windows can see a naked 14-year-old boy, which is also far from ideal. But if that was the only issue, we'd deal with that issue. The big issue is we don't want to get back into a world where every time we go upstairs the house is covered in wee and poo, which we were in that situation for a little while. You wouldn't go upstairs, you wouldn't touch the banister because you'd never know where there'd be a piece of poo on it. because it would get hidden. It wasn't that we were too dirty to clean it up. We'd try and keep on top of it, but it would be everywhere. And yeah, it's nice not living like that anymore, so we don't want to go back to that. So that was I think that was the most common comment that we got. The other area of concern, the vast majority of the comments were people being incredibly supportive, and I do thank you for that. Your support, as ever, is massively appreciated. The other little discussions I've seen popping up on there are just people generally feeling uncomfortable about the content of yesterday's video, which I completely get. I've talked about this myself in the past, about how I'm always in two minds about whether to share the content. We filmed almost none of yesterday. For 90% of what went on yesterday, he was naked, and the camera was on a different floor of the house to him. The bits that you filmed, the bits that I filmed, the bits that you saw, that was the aftermath. It was much worse than that, and we didn't film any of it. Because of how zoomed in the camera gets, and because of how good the microphone is, it sometimes feels like I am absolutely ramming a camera into his face. There is a moment in the vlog where it's as I'm leaving the garden and I talk to him, and then I start to back off, and you can hear me spin the zoom, do this, and zoom back out on him again, and you actually realise I'm much further away from him than it appears on the video. So the camera's quite far away from him, it's not right up in his face, and as you saw earlier on in today's vlog, when he doesn't want to be filmed, he is quite happy to tell me. So we leave a lot of that in his hands. If he doesn't mind being filmed, he knows they go on YouTube. He's watched bits of the vlog from yesterday. He hasn't watched it all, but he's watched the bits from himself, and it's helped him remember that's what happened when he got naked in his room. So it's had its positives for him as well. There's always going to be people who feel a little bit uncomfortable watching it. I feel like I wish we didn't live in a world where I had to put that out there, but I think we would be doing our autism awareness message a disservice if we didn't show you all sides of autism. And I think so much of the last 6-9 months of Andy's life has been feel-good story. It's been, look at all this progress he's been making, look how great everything is, and we have had a really good 6 to 9 months. It's kind of out of sync with how most of the previous 5 years have been. It's been a real struggle at times, and we've not shared much of that because we didn't have the vlog running at the time. But I think in the interests of sharing our lives with people who perhaps don't understand what autism is, or probably more importantly, showing other parents of people with autism that they're not alone, it's important that we show the rough as well, the rough bits, the bad bits, the hard days. We've got to show them too, and we try and do it as respectfully as we possibly can to Andy. Obviously he's our number one priority, and if he wasn't comfortable, we would take the video down. If when he looked back on it, he started to get upset and didn't want to watch it, we would take it down. If he asked us to, we would take it down. If he asked me not to film, I wouldn't film. But I think if we start, and I know it's a weird sentence, if I start exercising too much editorial control, and I know I do have editorial control, I show you what I want to show you, and what I want to show you is everything. I want to show you what being an autism family is like, the good and the bad. And I think almost all the time we get the balance right. Sometimes we go a little bit too far. I don't think we did yesterday. I think yesterday I was comfortable with the outcome. If some of you weren't comfortable, then sorry, but I'd do it again. So hopefully you're okay with that. But I think it was an important message to share. There was a couple of people who said, isn't it sad that so many more people have watched this video just because Andy's upset on the thumbnail and it's got Meltdown in the title? And that bothers me more than anything, the fact that there seems to be a significant chunk of people, and those people won't be watching this video because it's not Meltdown in the title and stuff, but there seems to be a good chunk of people out there who are only subscribed to the channel so they can watch Andy when he's upset. And that bothers me more than anything. If you are one of those people and you've accidentally watched this far into this video, which is so unlikely, get lost. We don't really want you here. I'd rather a video like this was the popular one, because I'm talking about what it's really like. Yesterday was just about showing you, but I guess you can't control which videos people choose to watch, and it is just a shame that the most popular videos on the channel are the two meltdowns that were on here previously, and I wouldn't be at all surprised if the one we put out yesterday ends up eventually becoming the third most popular video on the channel, because it's the third Meltdown video we've released in 600 videos. So, I don't know, 1 every 200 videos. We've not done too badly. It used to be a daily thing for us. The fact it's happened 3 times in 600 days, goodness me, that's another sign of the progress he's been making. But I've waffled on far longer than I planned to. Good luck with this in the morning future, Kev. You've got like 30 minutes of footage to edit down into something manageable for a midweek vlog. But I'm going to leave things there. We've got a busy few days ahead of us now with various bits and pieces, and that all kicks off tomorrow morning. So I need to go and get myself a nice early night, he says, at 11:30, with a vlog still to edit. But if you have enjoyed this episode, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for us. Subscribe to the channel for more daily vlogs. Don't subscribe just for Meltdown videos. You won't get another one for at least 200 days now, according to our average. And thank you very much for watching.
Tell me I'm the only one that you know. Life could be a dream, sweetheart. Life could be a dream. And I think down, plans would come true. And I think down, my whole life loving you. Life could be a dream, sweetheart.